This is my side of the bathroom. And there's just a lot of things happening here. There's hair products, there's beard products, there's contact lens solution, just a lot of stuff. And of course, more hair products. And I've been trying to get rid of a lot of this stuff, but I've come into a little bit of a problem. I don't know where to begin. So the weather here has been terrible for the past, 2 weeks. And so every time I wake up, I feel so tired and exhausted because the weather takes everything out of you. And I'm just, oh man, it's been a tough 2 weeks. So anyways, I watched this documentary on Netflix called Minimalism. It's made by a guy named Matt D'Avella. You may have seen him on YouTube. Yes, that's the same Matt D'Avella I made that short film. He had that competition I made that short film for. And you can check that short film out right here. If you want. Don't have to. Anyways, for those of you who don't know what minimalism is, it's this idea that you can live on only the things you need and you don't need to keep buying stuff in order for you to feel happy. You know, feeling happy with the stuff that you already have and the stuff that brings you joy. And I was like, whoa. Even though I'm one of those guys who loves buying things, I love getting Amazon packages every week, something about it made sense to me. And I'm like, you know what? This makes sense. This seems like the thing that I could get behind. So I decided that night, right after not even finishing that documentary, that night, I decided I'm gonna become a minimalist, no matter what. I told my wife, I'm like, I'm gonna become a minimalist. So I start going through my things, I start throwing them out, and then I hit the question. What if I need this? See, we always like to think about the future, right? We always love to prepare for it. That's why we always buy things, in case we will need it eventually later on. And that's why sale days work best, because if it's cheaper one day and you know you're gonna possibly, maybe, potentially need it in the future, you're like, you know what, sure, why not? I don't mind spending a few dollars here because I know it's gonna come into use maybe in the future. So take this. This is Mustache Wax. It's from a company called The Bearded Bastard. It's pretty awesome. There's no reason why I wouldn't throw it out. I've got half, I think, left. Yeah, I barely use this. And the last time I used this was 8 months ago or something. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what if I need this? What if I need this mustache wax? So, even though it's small, I could probably keep it, but then what about everything else? I go through everything else and what if I need this in a few months? What if I need this in a few years? What's the point of throwing it out right now? Maybe I throw this out and then in a few months I'm like, oh, I want to do my mustache again. I want to twirl it like I used to. And I'm like, damn it, I threw that mustache wax out. I would be annoyed. So what do? I either keep it or I don't. But then if I keep it, most likely I'm going to be keeping everything, and really I haven't done anything to make my life a little bit simpler. And there was this piece of advice I got while I was traveling to England a few years back. I was going through the internet and I was like, there's so many things I have to bring. Let me just print out a list. And I found this list, but underneath the list it said, there are certain necessities that you need on every trip, right? Like your clothes, your passport, all of that stuff. And then there's certain things that you don't need to worry about, because if you actually need them, you can just buy them there. Most countries have this stuff readily available for everyone to just take. And here's the thing, we're always so worried about what we might need that we just keep consuming, keep buying, keep taking things. And then realizing that we can't really throw them away, not because of some personal attachment, but because we're afraid that we're gonna have to go back and buy this thing again, and we could have saved maybe $4. But the thing is, the future is so unpredictable. Life is known for its unpredictability. It's really good at that. It's what would it be like? It would be like how fire is known to be bright? That's a terrible example, but you get my point. And you never know which direction your life's gonna take. You never know if you're gonna go back and need something, or you never know if your life is gonna completely change and a lot of the stuff you have now is going to not be of use to you. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to focus on the now, right? Focus on what you need now, not what you need maybe 2 months in advance, not what you need in like 2 years in advance and holding on to things just because on the off chance you might, you might need it. And now I'm not saying this for everything. There's a lot of good things that come when you plan for stuff, and a lot of people know they're going to need this stuff. This is more for the question of you looking around your house and being like, oh, what if I need this? I don't really want to throw it out. But then it's just sitting there for months and months and months. And this is literally collected dust. I mean, you know what? Screw it. I'll be right back. Good. Now this is something I'm seriously struggling about. This is why I made this video, because I literally walked into the bathroom that night and I wanted to throw all this stuff out, and I was having so much trouble going through all the stuff that I need to get rid of. And now I'm trying to tackle other things, and it hasn't been easy. This is not an easy thing at all. And the thing you gotta admire about a lot of these minimalists and people like Marie Kondo, you know, the Netflix show where she's going in and she's cleaning all these houses, is they take a very, you know, definite step, right? Like you either throw it out, or if it brings you joy, you keep it, right? There's no factoring in, oh, what if I need it right now? There's no thinking about it a lot. That's it. They throw it out. End of story. And for a lot of people, minimalism isn't practical. And that makes sense. I mean, that's just the whole point, right? Some people don't enjoy being minimalist, some people do. And I think the great thing about minimalism is that nobody really practices it the same as other people. I mean, some people could have a huge book collection but still be a minimalist. That doesn't mean that they're not a minimalist. And it forces you to really think about what you have now and what you need now. It's like, kind of like yoga tells you, you know, focus on the now, stop worrying about it. Sometimes you just gotta take the plunge and throw stuff away. I mean, don't go overboard, look at what you're throwing, you know, obvious stuff, right? Now, that's what I think is the hardest part about becoming a minimalist. Being a minimalist, I don't know, but becoming a minimalist, the hardest thing is confronting what you need and what you don't, and separating the things that you might need in the future versus the things that are just there because you're worried you might have to buy it again. But for everyone, this is obviously a different question, right? So I want to ask you guys, what is the hardest thing about minimalism or being a minimalist? I mean, did you find it easy to transition into minimalism, or did you find it to be quite difficult and are struggling with the same struggles that I am? Let me know in the comment section. I'm going to be responding to every comment. Also, since we're in such a deep, you know, uplifting, you know, like mind-boggling discussion, I made a short film about living, and that's literally the best way I can describe it. It's a pretty cool short film, if I do say so myself. If I were to rate my short film, I'd give it 5 stars out of 4 stars. So the film is called Life on Mars, like that David Bowie song, and you can check it out by clicking either this thing here or in the, you know, in my description as well. You can watch it for free. You just have to give me an email just to update you on some of the cool stuff that I'll be doing in terms of film. And as always, obviously, if it doesn't go without saying, please like and share this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any suggestions about things you want me to talk about. Just even, you know, check out my Instagram. Send me a message. You know, like, I love talking, so just, you know, go on your phone, literally type Teen Manic and be like, hey, how's it going? And I'll tell you how it's going, really. I won't ignore it or anything. Wow, I can't believe I forgot this. Make sure you subscribe. I was just about to end the video and be like, but make sure you subscribe. And I think that's it, so I will leave you with that, and I'm going to try a different word to say goodbye, and that is the Japanese word, which is sayonara. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but let's go with that. See you in the next one.